wine, which is the colour, smell and the taste. I won't go into colour too much because I could be here all day, and for purposes of what you're doing it's less important. The smell and the taste are the two key things. Smell is 90% of your sense of taste. So if you're not smelling a wine, you're not getting the most out of it, and that's why such a lot of people in the UK, including my friends, is that on? Now I want to swear, but I can't. Can I swear? So many people in the UK think wine is just wine, and my friends and family will go, well, it's all wine, it all tastes like wine. A lot of that is because they'll get some wine and go, yeah, it smells like wine. And if you do that, it will pretty much smell like wine because you get alcohol. So, two things that will make your lives more complete. A lot of people will judge people like me who work in the wine trade and or people who end up looking quite pretentious when they do this with a wine. You only have to do that. I smoke, it's a terrible habit, it'll kill you, don't do it. But that means when I'm out or when I'm in, if I don't want to be smoking inside, I need something to do with my hands. A lot of people need something to do with their hands because they're on the end of your arms and they're awkward. So if you just do this when you've got wine, you can do that without people noticing. You don't have to be a massive knob and going, you can do it quite subtly. It makes a huge difference. Hopefully for those of you who smelled it before and will smell it now, you'll get a lot more. That wine has been in that bottle for anything from 3 months to 6 months to 6 years to 30 years. All those flavours that are in there, and there's chemical compounds that will give off flavours, have been closed, they've been sealed, so they need to open up. By doing that, you're opening up all those chemical compounds and giving them contact with air, so when you smell it again, hopefully, there'll be a lot more going on. You'll get more of a nose. That's fantastic, because that's another thing that people do. Perfect, sorry, I'm picking on you, I don't even know your name, but you're there and you've done it properly. A lot of times people will go and they'll do that, and especially like old blokes in golf clubs who think they're clever and they've got big red noses, will go, that's a good wine. Or, not for me. If you put your nose into a glass of wine like that, and you inhale deeply like that, you will get alcohol. Because when you open it up, the alcohol will rise. So it will burn the inside of your nose. And that's all you'll get. You'll get alcohol burn and maybe a little bit of fruit. Again, that's why a lot of people who are doing wine tasting badly think wine will taste the same, because they put the nose in, inhale deeply, and what they think is wine is just the scent of alcohol that's burning the inside of your nose. If you just gently rest your nose on the edge of the glass and let the flavours come to you and inhale as you normally would, the flavours will come to you. They are there, they're coming off. They will come to you. You don't need to aggressively go and get them. Happy? It's true. I mean, it'd be like, I don't understand why people do it. You wouldn't get a glass of, I like tequila and I sip tequila. It's a beautiful drink for those of you who don't think so. But you would never go in a glass of tequila because you would really do quite a lot of damage to the inside of your nose. But by the same token, if you don't think that smell has that much impact on taste, the amount of times you see people out when they're drinking shots of tequila and or vodka and or anything else, they do that and then knock it back because you don't taste it as much. There you go. There is science and there is logic and it is true. So hopefully you will now all like this wine. There is a correct way to taste wine. I will do that properly next time because you will judge me even more because it does look a lot more pretentious. But all I would say is try and coat your mouth as much as possible with the wine. So so when I'm doing that, when you're sucking, essentially people will do it and they'll sort of sounds like they're gargling a little bit and you're sucking air in. That is purely to do more of what you're doing by swirling it, get more oxygen in so you'll get more flavour. By coating it all around your mouth, so the sides of your mouth, the sides of your tongue, the front of your tongue, you have different taste buds in different areas of your tongue. So dry, sweet, sour, all those different things, salty, are in different parts. On the sides of your mouth, on the sides of your tongue, is where you'll pick up acidity. So hopefully, if you do that now, you don't have to suck the air in, because I always say to people, if you're practicing doing that, do it with water, don't do it with red wine, you'll dribble, you'll look stupid, people will laugh. But you'll get the acidity on the side, so you'll taste that's quite dry, and you've got that. It's, for a lot of people, it's quite a pleasant thing. It's almost like sherbety, and it makes you salivate. So acidity makes you salivate, so it makes you want to eat, it makes you want to drink more. That's a positive thing, especially if you're selling food and booze. People want to eat more and drink more. That's a good thing. You'll also get the front of your tongue, hopefully, if you've all done that. There's not a lot of sweetness there, so it's dry wine. But you'll also hopefully get some fruitiness, and it's really well balanced. That is really easy to drink, I think. So some of you may or may not drink a lot of white wine. For those of you who drink a reasonable amount of something like Pinot Grigio, that's quite neutral in taste, quite easy to drink. This is quite a big step forward in terms of quality, but it's not a big leap of faith in terms of massively flavoursome. It's just light, it's elegant, it's dry, it's something really different as well. I don't think anyone else, I know that nobody else in Yorkshire will have a Pecorino as their house wine. Pecorino is a cheese, it is also a wine. So just to really throw all of your customers, it's the name of both. Happy?
I'm happy, it's good as that.
It is really good, it's really unusual. We've only just as a business got Pecorino into the UK in the last 6 months, and there's not a lot even available, let alone sale only on trade. So it's something to hang your hats on as a business.
It's the same region then, presumably, as the Pecorino cheese?
I don't know enough about the cheese to know if it's got a particular cool geographic region.
It's a bit of a general name, isn't it?
I think so. It's sheep's cheese, isn't it? I don't know enough about the cheese to accent. And if you have, I'll pass. Have you got the bottle on the table?
Yeah.
Have a look at the bottle and see just the back label, because it'll give you the map of Italy, where it's from. The Italians are very, very bad and very, very derogatory towards the UK generally when they're putting stuff on a bottle of wine, because in Italy there is a presumption of knowledge with wine drinkers, because there is knowledge, because most Italians drink wine regularly and significant quantities, so they know more. So what they say in Italian on the bottle is limited. What they say in English in the bottle, translated Italian. So it says that it's bright yellow, which is really useful for most people. It says that it's got some fruitiness, which is pretty obvious, and that it's balanced and dry. So they don't give a lot away, really. But within that, you know, if you can tell people it's a fruity dry white wine from the middle of Italy, then you've got something. I will go into more detail about it when we do our full tasting.
So the Pecorino is the grape, isn't it?
Yes. You've got something for...
The red Spanish, isn't it?
Yeah. If you want a tip, or if you don't want to drink what you've got left, use your coffee cup and make a really interesting cocktail.
No, actually. I've got a grab on.
So,
Quite easily drinkable. It's really drinkable, isn't it? That? It is. It's lovely, but I'm trying to... So she's got quite a sweet tooth, really, doesn't it? It's drinkable, it's not so just fruity, it's not so dry that...
That's the thing, it's where people get confused. Dry isn't sharp and nasty, and people in their head think it's going to be sharp, and it doesn't have to be. It just means there's no sugar. And fruitiness is more appealing to a lot of people than sweetness.
But the problem with the sweet stuff is that one can't last. I'm done. It just gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter for me. I can't.
That's because it's warming up, so it actually is getting sweeter.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's like, it is like sugar. I just can't stick it at all.
Your glass ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it just an old wine?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one thing that I do get asked quite a lot, and for those of you who want to know, it's my only interesting fact on wine, really. A lot of people think that that's called a punt at the bottom of wine, in the bottom of the bottle. They think the deeper the punt, the better the wine. There is one wine that proves that to be myth. I nearly said another bad word, which is Cristal Champagne. So Cristal by Louis Roederer is one of the most expensive champagnes available. It is drunk largely by rappers and people with more money than sense. It looks good.
Tastes like manure.
A lot of them have moved on to Ace of Spades now because that's in a completely gold bottle. But it is good stuff. It's just very expensive. The bottom of a bottle of Cristal is completely flat. That's for a reason. It was made by Louis Roederer exclusively for one of the Tsars of Russia. He was very worried that he was going to get assassinated, so he didn't want a punt in the bottom of the bottle because someone could put a grenade there. Hence, the bottom of the bottle of Cristal is flat. There you go. An interesting story about wine.
That is interesting.
Thanks.
You just made it up. About wine.
What's the other day today?
Drinks wine. Yeah. Tequila.
When I get home. I do some of this, not enough. The majority of my time is looking at spreadsheets because it's really difficult to make money out of wine these days, and that's true on both levels, which is frustrating. This is when I enjoy my job the most because you're like letting people taste and enjoying wine. I probably do something like this 3 or 4 times a month, realistically these days. I do get to taste a lot of nice wines. I get to go on trips abroad and taste wines, so I'm not going to complain too much because my life's alright. But yeah, it's not all like this. Who hasn't got a glass?
Oh yeah.
Has anyone got some more around for the rest of it? For the rest of the cup being used? So, just so you know, your house red is possibly the most difficult to say out of any red we could have possibly picked. So, apologies. It's called Mencia. So the grape that they use is Mencia, M-E-N-C-I-A. Spanish say, I'm told with reasonable authority by Spanish people, C is a F. So it's Mencia. The winery is called Flavium, which is on the front of the bottle, but the grape is Mencia and it's from Vieto.
That's a bit like the beer in the Iberian.
Yeah. I struggle with Spanish. The grape is with a C, the region is with a Z.
So it's not Mencia, it's Mencia.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you've got to get right. Don't say Mencia.
I will double check that and confirm that because it's Galicia, it's a slightly different pronunciation, so I will double check with people I know in Spain exactly how the pronunciation is. It's really interesting. For two or three things to let you know about this wine. It's massively trendy in London at the moment because it's different. In London, they want things that are new and interesting and different. That particular region of Spain has lots of indigenous grapes that were previously quite unloved and only drunk in that region. And gradually the vines were being pulled out and they were planting more commercial stuff, so Tempranillo, which is used in the UK a lot. They've recently, probably over the last 10 years, rediscovered a lot of their local native grapes and started doing new things with them, started doing exciting things with them. They are all very unique in flavour, which makes them interesting and exciting to certainly somebody like me, but to put them on a wine list in Halifax as house wines is mega. I just think that's a really cool thing to do. I think it's really different as a wine. On the nose, hopefully, you'll get these quite distinct sort of blackberry and blueberry flavours, So if you like forest fruits, it should be really appealing. The fruit is quite bright and quite vivid, which